Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have filmed this video once before and it was the only time I had planned on filming it, but upon watching it back I can't post it because I am just an absolute mess the whole time through it. I got very emotional, I got very upset, I cried a lot, and it's just that's not something I want to post online because watching yourself like bawling your eyes out isn't a fun thing to do. And also you couldn't really understand me properly because I was just like sobbing out my words. So I'm filming it again. Hopefully not going to cry this time, but I definitely want this to be the last time that I film this, so I'm hoping it goes well. I want to preface this off by, if I'm looking down at my phone a lot, like I got it with me here, it's because this time around I've kind of written myself out a little like guide of things to talk about and stuff, because last time, well, apart from just sobbing, it was kind of rambly because I was going back and forth between things. So if I'm looking like down, it's because I'm focusing on my phone so I can get facts straight. So I feel like a lot of people would know if you follow me on my Instagram kind of what happened. This is an incident that took place at Riot City Wrestling on the 23rd of March at their event called Mega Slam. Jesus, I hate this. Basically what was happening was, after the show, like once the show ends, if you haven't ever been to one of their shows before, you know, people kind of stick around and hang out for maybe like half an hour afterwards. Some of the wrestlers will come out, so like if there's kids there and they want to meet them, like they can, you know, get like a autograph or a photo, that kind of thing. Then everybody was asked to leave. Me and my friend Maddie stuck around because they'd consider us as family, using that in quotations because I don't believe you should treat anybody in your family like this, but they considered us family, so they let us stay around. We would normally wait for our friend Sean. He does commentary for them and he also does some stuff for them backstage, so we would kind of just wait around inside the hall if he had to do any interviews backstage, and then our little group would all go get dinner afterwards. So me and Maddie were standing together. I'm not sure where Sean was. I'm assuming he was maybe backstage at this point. I don't know. So me and Maddie were standing together and we were talking to Jet Armstrong, who is one of their wrestlers. And we were just having like a general conversation, like nice friendly conversation. I think he was eating a pie, honestly. Like it was just like a casual conversation, and we were just, I think, talking about the night maybe. And then we jokingly brought up how ticket prices went from $20 to $25. And I say jokingly because we were like, oh, how dare you put up the prices, I don't know if I could pay this now, like, oh, don't think I'll be coming back, like just jokingly, like it's an extra $5. Like I know for some people that's a lot, but I personally can pay an extra $5 to attend. It's not that big of a deal. It was more of a joke on the fact that I don't think they announced it, just when you went to purchase the tickets you could see that they went up in price. So we were joking about that, and he brought up the he started saying how the reason they went up, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what he said, because they put their bodies on the line to entertain us, and that we wouldn't understand that as cosplayers. And I think he meant it in a kind of joking kind of way, but I don't know. But me and Maddie replied by saying, like, no, we don't understand that, like, because obviously as cosplayers we're not, you know, jumping in and out of the ring, you know, getting thrown around, but as cosplayers we have to deal with things like stalking, having to use fake names on like line on everything, sexual harassment, etc. And it was after that their security guard Nina came and butted into this conversation. And I literally mean butted in. I didn't even know where she was before this, because it was literally me and Maddie talking to Jet, and she just came out of nowhere. I don't know where she was, but she like inserted herself into the conversation. Sorry, I had to cut that. I said actual names and I don't know if I'm allowed to, so but Nina inserted herself into conversation and said that, like, basically she tried to justify that what we wear as cosplayers correlates to how we should be treated, by saying like, look at what you wear, look at what you go out in. Like, of course sexual assault and sexual harassment happens to you. It was at this point that Jet left. He just kind of, I don't know if he got uncomfortable or if he didn't want to deal with it, but he like walked away from this conversation. Nina then started to just really belittle us, talk down to us, bringing up the fact that not also what we wear as cosplayers, but also what we wear to the Riot shows. And you know, we wear like a tank top and skinny jeans. Like that's what, I can't believe I have to justify what we wear to shows, but we wear like a tank top and skinny jeans, I'd say a good 99% of the time. Sometimes we might wear shorts if it's hot weather, sometimes we'll have a jacket or not, but that's what we wear to shows. But she also, yeah, kind of brought into play our attire that we wear to Riot City as well. She then told us that she sees and witnesses sexual assault and harassment on her job on the trains, but she can't do anything about it. To which Maddie replied that, you know, of course you can stop it. If this is your job, you should definitely stop it. And then when we kind of started questioning her back, she got mad at us and told us to leave. She just kind of straight up stopped us mid kind of defending ourselves and was like, you have to go now, you have to leave, like, get out. At this point I was very upset. I was starting to cry. We noticed Sean and Justine were off to our right. I started like calling out to them, and Maddie was just like, come on, let's go. And I was like, Sean, Justine, like, Justine, and they didn't know what was going on, but Justine just said like, go around the back, we'll meet you out there. So Maddie was like, come on, let's go, and kind of like ushered me out. And as soon as we left the building, I just burst into tears. It's gonna sound really stupid, but it was almost like a weird kind of out of body experience, and the fact that, like, did this person really just say all this to me? Did they really just tell me that I deserve to be sexually harassed because of what I wear? And yeah, I was just in tears. I was having an anxiety attack. We walked around to the back of the building where there's like a little like ledged wall, which we sat on for probably about 5 minutes until Sean and Justine appeared, and our other friend Nat. We told Nat what happened, and she got very, very mad that she was going to go back inside and have a word with her, but Maddie kind of pulled her back and was like, no, leave it, let's just go. I was crying my eyes out. It wasn't till later when we met up with Sean and Justine, we ended up actually going back to Maddie's house, and I got changed out of what I was wearing because I didn't feel comfortable in that anymore after being told that, look at what you wear, then why do you get assaulted? So I put on my Trixie Mattel t-shirt, and then we went out for dinner, and I was just crying. We told Sean and Justine what happened, and they couldn't believe that someone that is associated with Riot City Wrestling would say that. I asked Sean if he could maybe pass on what happened to them, because at this point I didn't didn't really know what to do, and I was just said like, could you let them know that that was said to us? And he said he would, and then that was kind of it. We had dinner, went home, and that was kind of the end of it for that night. It was a few days later, I don't know the date exactly, but I'd say it was probably 2, maybe 3 days later, that Jet then messaged Maddie on Instagram. He sent her a DM. Because the following day, sorry, on the 24th, I posted on Instagram that like I'm gonna be kind of taking a bit of a break from social media for a bit after something that happened at Riot City. I just didn't want to be online. I was very upset. I felt very like anxious and depressed, and was having like bad anxiety attacks and panic attacks because of this, and I just kind of wanted to be offline. This caused Jet to then message Maddie on Instagram, ask her what happened, and she just said like, you know, well, it was what happened with Nina, and he basically just said for us to like ignore the haters and just keep doing what you love, which is definitely not the right thing to say if someone had just been told that their outfits correlate with how they should be treated. It's not like someone said to me like, your cosplays suck. I feel like, you know, that then if someone said that to me and I was upset about that, then you can kind of be like, ignore the haters, just keep doing you. But if someone's like, no, we got told that we deserve to be sexually harassed because of our outfits, telling, you know, them to just ignore the haters isn't the right response. To which Maddie then told him that. Jet then started to message me. I think I posted something else on Instagram, and he said like, what was this for? And I said the Nina situation, and he just basically started telling me that she's an idiot and to just ignore her stupid opinion and not let it keep me from enjoying what I love, which like sorry, why, like, yes, I loved wrestling, but having that horrible experience with someone who's meant to protect me at their shows doesn't make me feel comfortable or encourage me to keep going there. She's a security guard. She's meant to make people be safe and feel safe, and when that's literally her job, when she tells me, you know, look at what you wear, look at what you go out in, and trying to justify reasons why we would be harassed or assaulted, that doesn't make me feel safe. That doesn't make me want to be at your shows or anywhere near your company. And he kept DMing me, making situation worse, and I'm just like, look, I'm not dealing with this. I'm making a formal complaint. It was Jet's messages that made me want to push this further. All I wanted originally was just for someone to let management know that this had gone down, but it was Jet's messages that made me want to put in a formal complaint because I wasn't happy with this. He wasn't dealing with this well. He was kind of almost justifying Nina's response, and I was like, this isn't right. These are two people that represent this company, and for them to be telling paying customers this, I'm taking it further. So then I sent a message, I think it was on the 15th of April, I sent a message to the Riot City Wrestling email. It was like contact@Riot City Wrestling. It was Riot City's email, and I got a reply from Matt Grimm Basso, but his reply came back through on his email. So I don't know if he switched the emails over so no one else that had access to Riot's emails could read these, but he changed the emails that he was replying to. So I started messaging Matt. Just basically we said not in full detail what happened, but we let him know that there was an incident, that we weren't happy, that we wanted something to be done. He sent a confused email back because he wasn't sure what we meant, and then our next email back to him was a full details, what happened, what was said, what was going on, and what we wanted out of this complaint. All we wanted was an apology from management, and for Jet and Nina to be spoken to about their actions and about what they said. So it's all we asked for, and that's what we asked for in our second email in, was just, could we please get an apology, and could you please talk to Nina and Jet. We then got a bunch of like emails back. There was about we had, I think, 9 emails in total, but the next 7 emails that Matt sent back to us was him just defending his company. And I totally understand defending one's company, but when a paying customer is putting forward a complaint, this isn't the time to kind of be like, well, people in my company wouldn't do this, I would know because I know them. This is something that should be taken seriously. He refused to call this an incident. To him it was just a misunderstanding, which it wasn't. This was an incident, and I was lodging a formal complaint, but it wasn't being treated like that. The entire time over the next 7 bunch of emails that we've got and sent back to him, the only time he ever said I'm sorry was when he took 2 days to reply to an email, and he said sorry for the delay. It's the only time the words sorry were mentioned. He just refused to kind of own up to the situation and apologize for it, because these aren't the people he knows. And while yes, they might act differently towards him, but this is what happened. I had proof. I sent screenshots of it all, and he just still refused to believe it. The last email that I did send to Matt was on the 4th of April, and it was an email in which, because he just didn't understand what we were saying, so I said, look, could we meet up in person? We can explain the situation, we can have a proper conversation, like face to face, to kind of explain it. And so I could like kind of explain to him that this isn't just a misunderstanding, this is a serious incident. And I wanted him to see how badly this affected me. It was affecting me very badly. My anxiety and depression were honestly at an all-time high. It made me think of things that I'm kind of ashamed to think of, and if you know what I mean, then you'll know. But it was very bad. I got into a very dark place. But after that email on the 4th of April, Matt didn't reply. There was never any form of outcome to this. There was never any apology. He refused to deal with the situation any longer. He just, I don't know if he had enough, he just didn't get back to us. It wasn't till this last week when I posted on Instagram that he decided to reply 2 months later with a very, very condescending email. He was completely like contradicting himself in it. It was like a panicked damage control email that still offered no outcome at all. It had then been brought to my attention that Matt was going around telling people within Riot City that this situation had been dealt with, but me and Maddie were just not happy with how he kind of chose to deal with it, which we weren't. But he kind of made it seem like, you know, we've done everything we can to help, but they're just not happy and that they're being spiteful. He never offered any form of outcome. We waited 2 months for a reply. I said, like, let's meet up, let's discuss this like adults in person. and he refused to reply, and now he's going around telling people that I'm just spiteful, and that's why I'm making this video, and that's why I'm doing my posts, and that's further from the truth. I'm not spiteful. I'm scared, and I'm worried that if they do something like this, and they've considered me, like I said, family, like if this is how you treat your family and you're paying customers, we'd pay to go there, then how would you deal with this situation with other people? This whole thing has left me, like I said, very scared, very terrified. I don't know what this is going to cause for me as far as backlash. I don't know if I'm going to get anything bad back from it. But they are refusing to own up and deal with this situation like adults, and this is something serious. To be told that you deserve to be harassed and assaulted because of what you wear, is it okay? And all I wanted was them to say, I'm sorry this happened to you, but they wouldn't. I just want other people to feel safe. I'm sorry. I just want other people to feel safe going to things and being out at things and not have to worry about what they're wearing, because people might assault them. To have a security guard who's meant to keep you safe, who's meant to say for everyone to be safe, tell you, look at your outfit. It really hurt me, and all I wanted was just a quick, easy outcome from this. But because they've dragged it on this long, because they refuse to own up to the situation or reply to it or deal with it in any way, all I wanted was an apology, and they wouldn't give that to me. They belittled me. They made me feel like this was all my fault, that I deserved it. And it's left me broken, to be honest. I feel broken and scared and terrified, and I don't know what to do. But yeah, this video isn't me being spiteful despite what they believe. I just want people to know the truth about this situation, about how they're dealing with things, which isn't well. I just want people to think about who they're giving their money to. This is a company that I've loved going to for 6 years, and now I'm too scared to even set foot through the doors to one of their shows. So I just want people to think about this if they consider ever going to their shows. And I just like Matt, Jet, Nina, everyone at Riot City to just think about how they've made a paying customer feel. That's it, really. I want this to be over. I want them to realize the damage that they've done. And I honestly would like a proper outcome to this, because this has caused me so much emotional distress. So I just hope that they can be professional and deal with this, but it's been over 2 months, so I'm very doubtful. Yeah. Bye guys.